It sure looks like right now that the bears are starting to head for the exit in the crypto market. We've seen a lot of things that actually change in a very short period of time. Do want to talk about this in terms of ADA, and I want to show you guys a couple things taking place that we've actually seen before in terms of ADA that are a great sign for what comes next here. Also, something happening with stable coins that people need to be aware of too. So again, if you guys haven't shown your support for the channel down below, again, make sure to do so. Channel's been growing like crazy. It's all because of you guys. But I will say right now, it's still pretty early in the day. I make most of my videos pretty early. I have a 9-to-5 job, businesses outside of here. So I tend to be pretty busy, but this is exactly what we want to see from the day, is still a strong close for the 12-hour candle, and hopefully US money picking up where overseas money left off. And I did want to show you guys just a couple things that we have in fact seen before for ADA that have been great for what comes next. First of all, we are actually starting to get a bullish cross on the RSI itself. Now, last time we actually had one of these bullish crosses, it was a little bit of a fake out back here in May. And we can see that we actually had a nice pump for ADA, very strong retracement on that Friday. But you guys can see that when we had more confirmed bullish breakouts on the RSI, it led us on some pretty significant surges back here in terms of ADA, right? Lots of times that it's taken us to nice price extensions, and we'll have to wait and see what happens here. But this is all taking place while we're also starting to see a bullish flip on the MACD. Now, we have not flipped bullish since all the way back here on this major extension to the upside. Prior time before that, go figure, was right when RSI had crossed here as well, or just after it. So these are very positive signs. But what we're also seeing on the weekly is exactly what we talked about over the course of this last week, that this bearish cross on the weekly stochastic RSI for ADA may have in fact been a little bit of a fake out. We are in fact crossed bullish right now. And that is a pretty big sign. These weekly bullish stochastic RSI crosses, historically, they lead us on very aggressive movements. Last one for us guys actually took us, and I cut this candle kind of short here, this took us on a 50% run to the upside for ADA. Are we about to see that again? Maybe. That might be what we're headed towards, but you know, we're doing very well right now. And I'll say that ADA is actually doing pretty well against the altcoins in general, because when we look at the total three all assets outside of BTC and Ethereum, we're not quite there yet on the MACD. When we look at the weekly, we're not quite at this point where we're going to get bullish cross on the weekly stochastic RSI yet. So we're not quite there. I will say what's very interesting is that actually momentum has kind of fallen flat here, and that's kind of a little bit of indecision from altcoins, and that's not surprising. That's exactly what we've been talking about, not too much one way or the other. And what we've seen a lot of is just capital rotating throughout the space, trying to find, you know, what assets are going to go on runs next. That's what retail tends to do when they get bored. All right. Now, what is great here is, again, this was a perfect retest here, kind of like we were talking about in my earlier ADA video with the ADA BTC chart. We were getting important retests in terms of the total 3, the total 2, the total market cap of crypto, USDT dominance, which I'll talk about here in just a moment, BTC dominance. All these things we're going through very important retests. And the great news is that we are getting some great bounces on these and important rejections on something like USDT dominance and on BTC dominance. In fact, right now, what we're seeing in terms of USDT dominance, so the percentage of money sitting in stables right now, it's dropping off. It's dropped off the last 4 days. And right now we are having just the start of a very important breach here. Could this be the start of that next leg down, right? We talked about, you know, this right shoulder being built on our big head and shoulders here. So this could in fact be where, again, you see a lot of this capital start to re-enter altcoins, which is what we've been waiting for. That's where we might have a little bit of a bullish push take place, okay? At the same time, we're seeing USDT be minted. All right. This is not the only stablecoin that's seeing minting. USDC is seeing minting here as well. Now, this is obviously on the Tron network, but what you're seeing is injections of liquidity around the crypto market that typically precedes pumps. And it's a good sign that money is positioning itself for the next leg. All right. Now, what I did want to show you guys as well here is take a look at this. In terms of the open interest for ADA, we're at a 1.02 right now. When was the last time we were on the bullish side of this? It's been a little bit. And this is showing us that some of these short positions are in fact getting closed. Bears are starting to get out of the way. And I think it sure seems like it's because we're prepping for another leg in crypto, however big it might be, guys. And, again, depending on how retail reacts, we could be talking about a move that maybe brings us to the, mid 70s. We could be talking about a move that brings us to a new local high here. Okay. And obviously this isn't a guarantee. This is just what a lot of these trends are starting to show us. They're showing us a bullish flip, just as we've seen several times here on this ascending trend that we've been on. I hated that we saw a little bit lower of a low here, but again, still higher low than what we saw back here. But these are starting to, this is starting to get a little exciting. I'm just, again, cautiously optimistic. What I did want to show everybody is, Cardano search volume throughout the world right now, still relatively low compared to some of the peaks that we've seen, but consistent. Again, we have a great place of relevance currently in the crypto market, and this gives me a lot of positivity about what ADA can do on this next rally to the upside. All right. So I just wanted to show that to you guys. There are some great signs showing in the crypto market right now, some great things showing for ADA currently, and we'll see if this is something that can continue as the day moves on, as the week moves on. But I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. What do you think? I know some people are still anticipating more drops. I believe there will be shakeouts along the way. They'll try to convince retail that things are going to move down. But I think we've seen a lot, I know we've seen a lot of accumulation from large entities during this time. They've done a great job of positioning themselves for the next rally, and who knows? Maybe that starts this week. But have a great day. Show your love below. Let me know your thoughts. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.